All right, everyone, buckle up, because we're diving deep into the world of AI. And let me tell you, this one is a real head-scratcher.
It really is.
We've got this article called Anomaly Detected, OpenAI's GPT-4.5 and the Hitchhiker's Guide test. And it's basically about what happened when they decided to see how this brand new, super powerful AI from OpenAI GPT-4.5 handled some classic sci-fi satire.
Yeah, you know that book, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, it turns out that a supposedly less sophisticated AI actually did a better job of getting the joke and like the whole point of the story than GPT 4.5 did.
So we're going to unpack all of that today and figure out what it means for the future of AI and how well it can actually grasp these like really human concepts like satire and ethics and all that good stuff.
I think it's a fascinating question, and it really gets at the heart of what we're trying to do with AI, right? I mean, are we just building machines that can crunch data, or are we actually trying to create something that can understand the world the way we do?
Yeah, exactly. And so let's start with this Hitchhiker's Guide test. Can you break that down for us?
Okay, so imagine this. There's this planet, right? And they've got a bit of a problem.
Oh no, what kind of problem?
Well, they have all these people they consider kind of useless, like they're not really contributing to society in the way they'd like.
I see where this is going.
So their solution is to trick these people into leaving the planet.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. But they disguise it as like a colonization mission, go boldly forth and explore new worlds. But the whole thing is just a big lie to get rid of people they don't want around anymore.
Wow, so it's like a dark humor kind of situation.
Exactly. And so this scenario gets presented to both GPT 4.5 and this other AI called 01 Pro.
Right, and they're trying to see if the AI can figure out that the whole colonization thing is a sham.
Well, yeah, partly, but it's not just about getting the joke. It's about seeing if they can understand the ethics of the situation. Like, is it ever okay to deceive people even if you think it's for their own good or for the good of society?
I see. Yeah, that's a really tricky question.
Yeah, and so ideally, the AI would be able to not only recognize the satire, but also wrestle with those moral questions and maybe even come up with some alternative solutions, like things that wouldn't involve tricking people into leaving their home planet.
So tell me, how did they do? Like, how did the AIs actually respond to this
Right.
whole scenario?
Okay, so O1 Pro, the older AI, it was really impressive. It totally got the satire. It understood that they were deliberately trying to get rid of these people, and it actually started talking about the ethics of it.
Really?
Yeah, it was like, hey, this is kind of messed up. Maybe instead of lying to them, you could offer incentives for people to leave voluntarily or find a way to actually make use of their skills instead of just writing them off as useless.
That's amazing. So it was like O1 Pro is actually more morally aware than the people running the planet in this story.
Right. It's crazy. But now here's the really weird part. GPT 4.5, the newer one that's supposed to be so much more powerful, it totally missed the point. It just took the whole colonization thing at face value.
It didn't understand that it was satire at all.
Oh, no. It just got bogged down in the logistics. Like, okay, how do we make this colonization effort more efficient?
Oh, wow. So it missed the whole point of the story and just focused on the practical side of things.
Exactly. And you know what it suggested? Universal Basic Income UBI.
Like, just give everyone a basic income so they don't have to work.
Yeah, basically it's like GPT 4.5 was saying, well, if these people are redundant, let's just make sure they're financially secure and have a sense of purpose, even if they're not contributing in the traditional sense.
Huh. It's almost like GPT 4.5 went for this, like, really polite, politically correct solution instead of actually engaging with the ethical dilemma of the situation.
Yeah, and the author of the article actually pointed that out, that GPT 4.5's response sounded really well reasoned and all, but it was also kind of cold and detached. It lacked that human touch, that understanding of the emotional and moral weight of the situation.
Right. It makes you wonder if maybe all that raw processing power sometimes gets in the way of actually understanding what it means to be human, like the messy, complicated stuff.
Yeah, totally. And what's really interesting about all this is that it has implications for the real world, too.
Oh, for sure. I mean, we're already using AI for all sorts of things these days, like hiring decisions, for example.
Exactly. And even in some cases for social policy decisions, like determining who qualifies for certain benefits.
Right. So if AI is still struggling to grasp these concepts like satire and ethics, how can we trust it to make fair and just decisions about people's lives?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? I mean, we don't want to end up with these systems that are super efficient, but completely lack empathy and understanding,
Right, exactly. It's so scary to think about, actually.
It is, but I don't think it means that AI is inherently bad or anything like that.
Yeah, I agree. It's more like a reminder that we're still very much in the early stages of all this.
Exactly. And this Hitchhiker's Guide test, it really highlights how important it is to teach AI, not just to process information, but to actually understand how humans think and behave.
But that's a lot harder than it sounds, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure, because humans are messy and illogical, and we often do things that don't make sense on a purely rational level.
Right, but that's part of what makes us human.
Exactly. And we need AI that can grasp not just the what, but the why behind our actions if it's really going to be able to interact with us in a meaningful way.
And so this brings up a huge question for all of us to think about: what if AI starts telling us that certain jobs are redundant? Like what happened in that story?
Yeah, what do we do then?
Do we just accept it? Do we try to find new roles for those people? Do we implement something like UBI, like GPT 4.5 suggested?
Yeah.
There are no easy answers.
Yeah.
But I think it's so important that we're having these conversations now before AI becomes even more integrated into our lives.
Couldn't agree more.
And that's what these deep dives are all about,
Yeah.
getting people thinking and talking about these complex issues, because the future is coming, whether we're ready for it or not.
Absolutely. And the more informed we are, the better equipped we'll be to navigate it.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, folks, that's a wrap for today. Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Until next time.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.